What's going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI TV. Now today we're going to be continuing the kind of mini series of kind of what we expect from each team in the League of Ireland this season. So as you can see from the title, today we are going to be talking about Sligo Rovers and what we expect from them in 2020. Now of course the season has already started, but it's kind of still early days, so it's still kind of easy to do this video and just talk about the season ahead and what we expect for each of the, I think there's 4 teams you have to do left including this video. If you do want to enjoy this video, guys, please make sure to drop a like on it down below and make sure to subscribe as well. Now yeah, let's jump right into the video. Last season for Sligo Rovers was actually a decent enough year, to be fair. Liam Buckley's first season in charge, and they finished in 7th place, which was pretty respectable for them. It's basically a mid-table finish really. They never really looked threatening towards a relegation battle, never really looked like threatening the top half of the table. So it's kind of a decent position for Sligo Rovers, all things considered. And they also did very well in the Cup. They got to the semi-final, narrowly missing out on a final. They lost 1-0 to Dundalk, and they're very unlucky in that game as well. They had a big penalty shout turned down early on in the game, and they conceded, and I think it was in the 90th minute they conceded the goal to lose the game, so they were very unlucky in that one. And yeah, I think 2019 can be remembered well as a year of progression and a good season for Sligo Rovers. Now if you're looking at Sligo Rovers' team for this season, they've had a couple of big blows coming into this campaign. We will touch on them as the video goes on and we go through the team. Sligo's number 1 goalkeeper is Ed McGinty. Now he started to establish himself last season as their number 1, made 19 appearances in 2019, so he'll be looking to keep his position nailed down in the side for the upcoming campaign and kick on with his career. Now in terms of Sligo's back 4, their right back, who I think was their player of the year last season, was Lewis Banks, formerly of Stoke City. He also filled in at left back from time to time last season. He's kind of a good option on either side, but I think Danny Kane is kind of suited. I know he's probably more naturally a centre back, but he's kind of more suited to the left back role in my opinion whenever I've seen him there, so I'll have them two in those areas. I know in the first game of the season Lewis Banks didn't start and stuff, but I think he might revert back to normal moving forward now. At centre back is where Sligo Rovers had their huge injury concern. John Mahon, probably their best defender last season, is only 21 years old. Really promising player. I think he did his ACL in. I think it's at the 6-month injury. Really disappointing for him. He's a top player and had been linked to teams like Rangers and Celtic in Scotland. So that just shows how well he'd done last season. He had a really good campaign, and it's a terrible shame to see a young player pick up a bad injury like that. We wish him the best and hope he has a speedy recovery. They have brought in from Finland Teemu Penninkangas. He's a centre half, looks like a big strong bloke, so he's come in to kind of try and fill that hole. He was actually brought in before he got injured, and he's probably going to play alongside Callan-McFadden now that John Mahon is injured. It's not a bad back 4 at all by any stretch of the imagination. There is some competition there as well with the likes of Johnny Dunleavy, who will get a lot of game time this year. So it's not a terrible defensive unit, but John Mahon's injury is a big blow. Now in terms of Sligo's midfield, I think they kind of for the most part might operate with kind of a diamond in midfield. I know last season they did play 4-3-3 for the most part, but with the losses of the likes of Chris Twardick, a winger, Romeo Parks, who could operate off on a wide flank as well, with the losses of them, and they kind of brought in a lot of central players, I think it makes sense to kind of keep it in a structured, narrow kind of diamond formation. Makes the most sense to me anyway, looking at their squad. In the sitting role, I think David Cawley does a good job there, just sitting in front of the back 4. In front of him then, I think they're going to go with 3 new signings. Darren Noon from Shelburne. Beside him then, Will Seymour, who was brought in from abroad. They've got him from the US, and he's come with quite a big reputation, so I'm excited if I get the chance to see him a few times this year. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the Sligo Rovers midfield. His performances could be crucial. And then in front of them then, in kind of more attacking advanced role, I think they're going to go with Gary Buckley, the new signing from Cork City. He's a very good player in my book, and he's had a lot of success over the years with Cork City. He's kind of one of them that needed a fresh start away from Cork, and it's kind of gone stale there at Cork, and a move to Sligo now. He probably Liam Buckley be hoping to get the best out of him and get him back to his best, because he's a really talented player when you can get him playing. Then in the 2 striker positions, they've had a couple of big losses in the kind of attacking areas. Chris Twardick wasn't a striker but a winger, but he's an attacker for them. That's a big loss for them. He's gone to Bohemians, of course. And Romeo Parks is the big one. He banged in a lot of goals last season. He's a crucial part of Sligo Rovers' success in the league and the cup. And they couldn't get him a visa, I believe it was, so they've had to loan him out to America somewhere, I think it is. So that's a big blow for Sligo Rovers, and they haven't, in my opinion, replaced that as well as they should have really. I was thinking they should have kind of gone in for a striker. As I'm recording this, there's still a chance that they might go out and sign someone before Friday's deadline, I believe it is. So I was thinking they might get in someone like a Yo-Yo Maddie from UCD, someone to give them a bit of a cutting edge in the final third of the pitch. But they do have two strikers who are capable of scoring goals, definitely in the shape of Ronan Coughlin. He had a fantastic season last year. He returned a very respectable 8 goals in last year's campaign, which is a good tally. He's probably more of a winger, but he's been moved more central under Liam Buckley's Sligo. So I'd rate Ronan Coughlin. I think he's a really good player. He brings a lot to Sligo's team. He's probably their best attacker by a good bit now that Parks and Twardock have gone. So what Sligo go on to do this season and achieve is a lot down to how many goals Ronan Coughlin can score, and he probably needs to hit double figures for Sligo to avoid any sort of a relegation battle. And beside him then we have Ronan Murray. Now this is an interesting one for me, because when I saw that Sligo Rovers had signed him last season, I thought it was going to be one of the signings of the season. I thought it was going to be a fantastic addition to the side. The year in 2018, I believe it was, he was with Galway United. In 2018 or 17, I think it was 2018, I believe it was, he was with Galway United in the Premier Division, and he hit 13 goals as they got relegated. But hitting 13 goals is a fantastic return in a relegated side. He moved to Dundalk then, and never really worked out from there, but he was playing behind Pat Hoban, which is going to be difficult. Pat Hoban, I think that was the year he scored 28 goals in the league, so you're never going to get in ahead of him. So he did then move to Sligo Rovers. I thought that was going to be a fantastic move for all parties. Going to get a lot of game time, a lot of goals, and push Sligo up the league. He ended up with only 1 goal, I think it was, last season. A really poor return from a good few games as well. I think he had 20 appearances. So this season is a big test for Ronan Murray. Might be a bit of a blessing for him individually that Romeo Parks has now left the club. He's going to get an opportunity from the start of the campaign, but he needs to return the favour. Liam Buckley's put a lot of trust into him. If he's going to be starting him week in, week out, he needs to return it with some more goals. And he is capable, as he showed with Galway, and he obviously did enough to impress Dundalk to sign for them. So he has talent, he has ability. He just needs to start showing it on a regular basis. Now in terms of aspirations for this season for Sligo Rovers, it's an interesting one, because before, as last season was ending, it would probably be to kick on from last year, try and move towards the top half of the table, and then see what you can do in the cup again, kind of thing. But considering the Romeo Parks news and the John Mahon news, they definitely take exactly the same position in the league table. I'd say most fans would anyway. They'd take 7th place straight away. So I think that'd be a good season for them if they can just stay how they've been and wait for John Mahon to get back into the side probably next season, be back to his best. If they can get a visa for Romeo Parks sorted out for the following year and get a few more players in and just keep adding to the side, and then they can start moving towards progressing what they should have probably been doing this year, which is a bit of an annoying one for the fans and stuff like that. But I think if they can get a 7th place finish again, I think that's a really good season for them, to be honest. I am a little bit worried about them. Obviously the start of the season they did lose to Finn Harps on the opening day, which is a poor enough result, to be fair, all things considered, because Finn Harps are going to be down there fighting for their lives for this season. So Sligo Rovers ideally would want to be kind of steered clear of the relegation places, but I'm not entirely convinced that they will be, to be honest. I think they might get dragged into the battle, and it's going to be a big test for them. But they do have a great manager to try and keep them out of it in Liam Buckley. He sets the side up really well, hard team to beat, and he needs to just hope and pray that Ronan Murray and Ronan Coughlin can find the goals to keep them in and around the 7th position. I think that would be a good season for Sligo. What do you guys think? Do Sligo fans agree with what I'm saying, or do you think I'm not being fair on you and you could be reaching maybe top half finish or something like that, or do you think are you a little bit worried about being dragged into a relegation fight this year? I want to hear what you have to say down in the comments below, because I am genuinely interested to hear what Sligo fans have to say, because it is a tricky one. The transfer business, in my opinion, wasn't overly impressive, so I am a little bit worried about them in that department, but it remains to be seen. It's a long season, so I want to hear what you fans have to say. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please make sure to drop a like on it down below if you did, and make sure to subscribe.